Oh, there you go. Okay, you see my face? As you can see, this is the iftar face. I just broke my fast. And I assume everybody just finished breaking their fast. For those who are fasting, for those who are not, I'm hoping you guys will be anticipative because it's a struggle once you ate and now going straight into the talk. So I just want to thank Daniel for setting this up, and would like to welcome all of you who are here for this wonderful occasion on the 12th day of Ramadan. I know it's a bit late for a very usual Tuesday, but I really hope this webinar for effective online fundraising will eventually help you take ownership for yourself, take ownership for the cause that you really believed in, whether if it's for Save Our Seahorses or for the B40 communities that you are raring to go and helping out there during the fasting month. Just stay attentive. I'll do my best to keep this conversation very quick and brief. We'll have about 20 minutes plus of this presentation, which is purely talk. There's no presentation, nothing, simply because I would like you to hear it out, and I'll type it out for you so you know what you need to look for. So there's two parts of this presentation, of this webinar. One is the fundamental of fundraising effectively, and two is how to do it. How to do it. That was a bit of chendol in my mouth. Sorry. So how to do it. So we need to get the fundamental first correctly. And what I mean by that is to ensure that when you build a house, the foundations are laid there. And these are the foundations that you need to really follow. Okay? So when you want to launch a fundraising campaign, number one is you need to start looking at building a coordinated multi-channel campaign. So I say it again. You need to build a coordinated multi-channel campaign. Now that means looking at various media channels such as social media, which is on the palm of your fingertips, traditional media, which is through radio, Fly FM, BFM, all the FMs that you know, printing posters, digital posters, email blasts. These are all the things that you need to start to think about. Like, how do you want to convey your message? And wherever your supporters interact with you, or your friends or your network, they should see that message from the same campaign, with the same goal, the same consistency of the message. All right. So this is the first thing you need to do to clarify. Obviously, the Incitement platform is one of those media channels, but that does not supposed to stop you from lurking at other channels. As you know, the Incitement platform is the place where you list where we have the project running the campaign, but using other multiple media channels is great for amplification. So look at other channels that you can do. For those who know how to do email blasting, that's amazing. That means you've been collecting emails from people from your homepage or from your groups or fans, and you can email them. Sometimes people like to do phone calling and do just random sales call and tell people. That's how we do it back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Nowadays, you have various kind of tools that you have available. Now, once you have identified from which channels would you like to coordinate your campaign, your message, the second one is nearly as important as the first one, and that is to establish a sense of urgency. So I'm going to say it again. It's to establish a sense of urgency. Sometimes campaigns don't have to be too long. If you have a whole month, that's great. But if you're going to have the campaign run, you got to put and create a sense of urgency. What do I mean by that? That means if you put more urgency in your campaign, the more your supporters will want to pay more attention, they will want to act faster, and it will help you spread the word. Because if you're going to give an urgency that doesn't give so much importance, like, hey, help feed the children, but we're going to run it for the whole year, so people won't really care. people won't really click on saying, oh, it's just a whole year campaign, because this kid can, I guess he can survive for a very long time. It's all about the psyche, okay? But if you say we need to feed these families within this next 2 weeks, so that they can enjoy Raya Eid and so forth, or at least have enough food for them for the next quarter, but they need it within 2 weeks, that gives a reader or viewer the urgency to want to pay attention much more, wanting to probably share much more, tell the people. And when you do that, it just hooks your supporters, it hooks the people around you, it hooks your friends, because you put urgency. And to stress on the urgency is also about showcasing that through your how you portray it on your campaign. That's when people use a lot of various marketing technique, to get you really hooked on a very sad slogan. The more people like to talk about, the more sad it is, the more people will show empathy. But for you, what I would say is, the more story you share about these real people who are struggling, the more they want to know deeper. And that is why we go to point number 3. Then that is to create a clear call to action and make it short. Craft a short, clear call to action. People don't want to wade through convoluted game plan. They want things simple and effective. So for a very good example, a good clear call to action after you run a campaign, you would want to say, this campaign is all about give 1 ringgit, save a tiger. Very easy. They understand. Oh, if I give 1 ringgit, I'll save a tiger somehow. Cut through the noise and go straight to the bottom line. There's no need to circumvent and you go around the bush. Just say it out loud. And that's why crafting a call to action that is short and sweet is enough for someone to understand faster, because you don't have time, right? If you're going to run it for a month, which is one of the campaigns that we're helping out, you're not going to have that time. You want to have it clear and crisp. So I've seen many people make that I wouldn't say mistake, but they make a few attempts on trying to show so much and give so many kinds of ways on how they can help, but the message doesn't reach across that well, because the call to action at the end of the day didn't really hit the note on getting a potential donor to understand, like, the importance of it, on how quick can I really help, or how effective this is. Okay, all right. So have that call to action short, crisp, and clear. And once you have set that clear, try and figure out realistic goals. So that's point number 4. Be clear with your realistic goals. Don't set yourself up for failure by setting the bar too high, like, I want to raise $1 million in 3 months. Yes, it's very ambitious, it's very optimistic, but to be frank, if you're starting for the first time, the chances of you getting that raise is 1 in every 10 million. So if you're doing this for the first time and you want to create credibility, you want to create a name for yourself, or at least for the campaign, and create the credibility, set a very much more realistic targets. Instead of 1 million, go for $10,000 or 10,000 ringgit or 15,000 ringgit. You don't want to be spread out for the whole year. Try and look for that's why project based are much easier to fund sometimes, because people can see what the funds are for, versus a NGO that needs the fund for the whole year, because we don't know how we're spending the money for the whole year. That's why project based are much easier in that sense. So keep your goals within reach, so people aren't overwhelmed, because they will be overwhelmed. If you're going to raise a fundraising campaign for $1 million in a month, I will feel overwhelmed, man. Won't you feel overwhelmed if you see your friend trying to raise $1 million in 3 weeks? It doesn't hit you that well. So you got to be able to be more realistic in that sense. Okay, so be realistic, and also a very good tagline, to kind of get people's attention on the urgency of your goal could be like, help raise 5,000 ringgit by the end of Raya, so we can feed 500 families in Kuala Batai, for example. See, very clear card. So they know that, oh, we can raise, if you raise 5,000 ringgit, we can feed this many people. And to people, when they look at 5,000 ringgit, it's peanuts. Eventually, that amount will spill over. So there'll be extra. Some people raise a lot of money for just putting a measly 1,000 ringgit. It became 20,000 ringgit. We've had that before on the platform. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Yeah. So number 5. This is getting a bit more deeper in this, but it's to make it easy to act. All right. And what is that call to action? Right now, all you need to do is to figure out how can they be converted in donating. How can I go through the website and start registering and donating? And I know that some people have restrictions on saying, oh, I'd rather just give you the money in cash. You can just donate yourself. But this is also a way for educating the people on making it more simple. And then, so when you want to do to convert your potential donor, you want to make it easy for them to act on giving you that money. All right. And ideally, you should be setting up to receive donations in just a few clicks. So sometimes you just have to click and imagine, like, okay, if they're going to the project page on the Incitement platform, they're first going to click the contribute button. But they have to register first. Oh, okay. So you have to somehow set that up for them already to anticipate on how they can act. So that's why sometimes if you see a lot of fundraising campaigns, they'll show you a step-by-step, a visual step-by-step on how can they move you from getting to know the cause all the way to how can I donate the cause. Okay. And this is very important because you want to help those potential donors to get them to donate, because you will have an influx of people who are just not so tech savvy, or they just don't know how to use the platform that you've listed your project for the donation, or they just might have issues on donating. So you just be ready to engage. Okay. And that's very, very important. Point number 6 is to tell your story visually. Okay. The better the visuals, the better your message will get across. So make sure you get a very nice photo or a video. Video is always, and make it, if you're making a video, don't make it more than 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute is perfect enough. If you can squeeze it in 30 seconds, that's amazing. Like nowadays, people are getting accustomed to, if you watch IG stories or even on TikTok, it has been conditioned on what is better is things that are short and faster. So people are much more accustomed to things that are short. So maybe 10 years ago, 3-minute videos were cool. Nowadays, 30-second video is what people are looking at. If you look at reels nowadays, so put yourself in that shoe. The better you can cross your message on a short time, then that will require some skills, yes, but it's the best way to grasp someone. So don't feel shy to test it. 30-second to a 1-minute video is perfect. That's the best way. And at the same time, point number 7, just be different. Try to have a different way of approaching this campaign, because we've seen a lot of copy paste and innovate kind of style of fundraising campaigns. Try to be a bit different. How, I'm not sure. This is something you have to figure it out. Come up with something that is either sadistic or sarcastic, or something that will hit the humor, or something like that. Just figure out the creatives on how can you be a bit different with the campaign. And 2 more points that I need to 3 more points, okay, then I will go to the nitty-gritty stuff. So yeah, like I said, point number 7, be different by trying to be a bit interesting than the other one, so that people know that this campaign is this is the one that you've been trying to convey. It stands out. It gets people right up and wanted to do more than just wanting to donate. So point number 8 is very important, and that is to engage your supporters, engage your donors, engage your community. let them know, let them be heard. Like you're in the realm of the digital world. It should be easy to get across them, but it's never that easy to get them to convert. So if you have to, you may have to just go with one by one. And the more you preach to your supporters, one person can make a whole difference. He may have 10 other people who could be a raving supporter of your cause, and he or she will rally more people to come at you. So point number 8 is very much important as all the other points put together. So please bear in mind that when you run this fundraising campaign, when you're helping to raise the campaign, when you're part of the referential program, especially in that aspect, you have to engage your potential supporters, your fans, your donors, and talk to them. If you have to spend a few more, a few hours a day with them, or multiples of them, just talk to them. Get them, educate them, get them riled up. It's very, very important, because a larger community to participate through a simple attention grabbing expression of your involvement makes a huge difference, and that's something that we can't quantify. All right, so that's point number 8. Point number 9, please stay focused. Okay, get them focused. You know the goal, you already have the call to action, you already know what are the steps for them, how to do it. If you have any questions, be ready to reply. So stay focused. And last but not least, even when you're done with the campaign, follow up with those who have donated. What I mean by follow up is talk to them. Don't just quickly pack up your shop and after the campaign it's over. No. If you remember, on the Incitement platform, even though when the project has ended, there's still accumulative ways of people to wanting to post updates. So provide some closure to your donors. Provide some closure to your supporters on what happened. Of course, the Incitement platform, through the project owner, they will let know those who have donated for sure, because they're automatically getting updates of what's going on. But it's better when it comes from the project owners themselves, or those who are involved in the project, to let everyone know how you did it. How did it go? Because it's more human that way, rather than a digital email. All right, like, did you succeed or did you exceed your goal? Let them know. They want to know. Congratulate everyone who participated. Did any one of you fall short? Let them know everything, because the more you let them know, the more they feel like, oh man, I think my money was well spent. These guys are professional. They really took care of these guys. I think I want to spend more next time. Because you're giving them that dopamine effect of feeling happy, and that will only get them wanting to get more opportunities to donate more. And that's how this human behavior works. So continuing to give them the report, because we will have an impact report on the platform, and show it to them, because I can reckon that will be one of the most important things. So don't forget to thank all your donors. Other worth mentioning is, always stamp your authority to as a campaign, during the campaign. What I mean by that is, show the fact that you're in control, by letting them know that this problem is really a really problematic issue, and that the only way people can help is to get people like you to come and rally together and control this narrative. All right, get as many likes as possible. Unfortunately, that it's still a thing. The more likes you have, the more people would like to know more, or so right now, sharing is caring, so keep sharing. You want to be able to show social proof also, so show that as part of your package. Shows and then like I said, the consistency from focusing, and also always reciprocate, which is the follow-up I told you about. So I'll go over again on the 10 things to run a very successful, or almost very successful, fundraising campaign. Is number 1, build a coordinated multi-channel campaign through possible media channels, social media, etc. Okay. Number 2, establish that specific urgency. So the stronger your urgency, the more people will want to come on board and donate. All right, and the shorter, the better. The shorter meaning like not 10 days or 1 week, but say 1 month, 1 month tops. Or 2 months maximum. So people know, like, what is the urgency. People are dying, X, Y, and Z. You probably know better. All right. when you craft a call to action, make it clear and short. I gave you that example earlier. Make sure you, number 4, set clear, realistic goals. Don't go for $1 million. Go for something small that has the potential to accumulate much more. All right. Make it easy for the donors to act. Show them how to donate if you have to, because that's always part of the campaign. Make sure you tell your stories. Point number 6, share your stories visually. All right. Point number 7, be different. Show how different you are from other campaigns that people have seen. Not to say there's competition. There is competition, but to show how this is also as important as what's going on with COVID. All right. So as an example. Point number 8, always engage your donors, your supporters. Talk to them throughout the whole campaign. Point number 9 is just stay focused. Focus on keeping the consistency of getting your message across the social media channels. Your website if you have one, or through the Incitement platform. Always update on the platform to share posts. Do the email during the campaign if you have to. Right. And point number 10 is to do the follow up after the campaign is over. So the more the follow up you can do, the better. Okay. So that's the fundamentals of running a almost successful fundraising campaign. I say almost because not all the time will be successful. This is me being realistic. So the second part of this webinar is to give you some really good tips, and do take this very, very diligently, because I'm going to tell you the number 1 tip that will get you to finish the crossing line faster than the rest. Okay, the number 1 way to have a successful crowdfunding campaign, from my own experience, is to engage your personal network. All right, that means your sisters, your brothers, your mom, your dad. Apparently your mom's friends or your dad's friends are the best, because they love you, and when they see you do cute things like this, they will tell all their parents, they will tell all their friends, they will tell, oh, look at my son, oh, look at my daughter, blah 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 blah. I kind of figured out, like this sometimes they are the ones who are shouting much more. They're a bit old school, but that's very, very important. So the best way, the number 1 to engage in a very successful fundraising campaign is your personal network, because your networks is always your network. You know someone, talk to them. You have hundreds of people on your contact list. Don't be shy to talk to them and tell them, yo, I'm helping out this campaign. Do you think you can share and donate, or just share if the least you could do? You never know until you ask them, right? Sometimes we're like, oh, we're too shy to ask our family or friends, because it just doesn't jive that well for me. But to be honest, it's the most important thing, and for some reason we are not doing it enough in that sense. So if you're really, really good at talking to your friends, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, your club society friends, let them know. At least they can do is just share, so the message can get across. And when you ask them to share at least to 3 people, so they can tell these 3 people to share to another 3 people. Yes, it's almost like an MLM style, but this is not MLM. This is more like upstream, making sure the message gets across. And that's one of the best ways to get organic donors and organic outreach from people outside all of our circle. So that's the number 1 tip I can give you right now. The rest are quite easy, pretty much easy, because it doesn't involve so much of talking directly to people. It's more about sending messages to people. So you can engage on email marketing. So if you're an NGO, you might want to do that and talk about your campaign. And then if you had previous, I don't know, you can engage with your teachers, for example, which is also, again, your network, right? You can write a blog about it, and get people to talk and write about it. So you're giving some assessment. You can look at Facebook groups or any WhatsApp groups that is relevant. Okay, it has to be relevant, and talk about the campaign. You can do a go live session on if one of you here is an Instagram influencer, or someone who has a good following, or someone just an individual, anyone who would go Facebook live or Instagram live and would have a decent number of people tuning in, then you can tell them and talk to them about this campaign also. This is another good way to reaching out to more audience. You can always write to the press if you want to. They're always open to listen. Like, you can easily approach vulcanpostsays.com World Buzz. These guys are quite easygoing on helping you to publish some of the articles, perhaps. Talk to partners. If you have friends who are influencers, oh man, if they can do you a favor, you probably almost hit a very good gold mine there. Not because they can directly contribute to your cause, but they can ask their fans, their followers, to help and at least pay attention. I know most influencers, they will try their best to get their fans to donate, but most of the time, it's a 50-50. But the least they can do is to talk about their awareness around it, how big of an issue it is, and but the most important tip, like I said earlier, is to engage your personal network. Like if you have not done that, or you have never done it in your life, I think this is a great time for you to do so, because it is the best way to reach out to as many people as possible. Oh man, I just realized that my head is, there we go. So this is much better. So always do that. Engage. Oh, thank you, Bika, for typing. So engage your personal network, your family members, your friends. Talk to them. You have a phone, right? You have a contact list. Go through your contact list. Tell them one by one why they mean so much to you. You guys some of you here are students. Man, you can just talk about a cool project that you're working on. Like for those who are saving the lives of the seahorses, which is also a pinnacle component of the ecosystem of the coral reefs of the world. This is a very, very important moment in life to really pay attention and look at the aspects of climate change in some ways to get yourself involved and contribute to that fact in that sense. So that's primarily it from my end. I don't have any other things to incite to all of you in a positive way, but I'm more than happy to take any questions that you may have. You can feel free to write it down on this chat box here, or maybe you can come on stage if you want to. I'm not sure we have time for that, but I'll try to keep this session as simple as possible, because it's quite an unusual time for having a bit of a session on how to raise money. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If there's no questions, that's great, because that means you understand everything. And now Bika is Norbika and Brother Adam, who's on the call, will be relying on your amazing prowess on making this a successful campaign. So is there any other question? I will open the floor for at least a minute or two. See what Adam has to say. See what Muhammad Arif bin Muhammad Anwar Ashwar has something to say. Or maybe Tanchi San. Or who else do we have here? Oh, someone's sneakily sitting at the back. El Saghir Muhammad. Why are you sitting at the back, bro? Come sit in the front. Rian Ng, Tilahi, you have any questions, feel free. I'll do my best to address them. So yeah. I wish I could play some music, because if I play some music, it feels like you're in a real event somehow, but I cannot for some reason. Okay, so okay, I see Bika typing. I see Jimmy Lau with some kind of drink on your photo. That's pretty cute. I hope you enjoyed the webinar, a very short one. It's pretty short, right? We started at 8:40. Now I'm gonna end it at 9:10. That's probably the best webinar I've ever done. Most webinars last for 2 hours. So yes, Daniel, if you want to add anything, let me know. If you don't, you can just chill and relax on stage next to the what do you call that thing? This thing on your left. What is that? The monstrum? Something like that. I forgot already. Okay, here comes the questions. 1 second. So a question from Anne. To ease fund payments, other than online banking paper, are there a system where you have something like a landing page? Yes. I'm not sure which campaign you're going to be involved in helping, Anne, but if it's the campaign running on the Incitement platform, there's already a very easy checkout that you could educate your donors on how to do it. All they have to do first, which is the first hurdle, is just to register. And then if they do really donate and they do contribute the amount they want to contribute, it automatically goes to a checkout for on oh my god, what's it called again? The online pay 88, it goes to a payment gateway immediately. So from there, I think it's pretty familiar on how to um, donate from there. So hope that answers your question. And Muhammad Arif bin Muhammad Ashwar, your question is, how do I convince people to register or create for my crowdfunding page? Is easy for them on their side. Okay, so when you run your fundraising campaign, sometimes you need to be able to show people on how to. It's better to show them how to register first on your campaign versus not mentioning they can ever register, because you're going to give them a big surprise, which is true. Like, I'm going to donate and all of a sudden I'm going to this website that I'm not really sure how to run it, and I'm like, oh man, this is a bit too much. If I was told that I could just, if I was told or taught how to donate, then during the campaign, then it will be different. So you might want to mention that so that you can overcome. Yes, because it's called rostrum. Sorry, off topic. So yeah, so you need to, like I said in my webinar just now, just convey the message by a lot of people, they do a nice visual on the step-by-step on to register, and then on how to donate once they have registered. That's the best way that they can do, because you're managing their expectation, all right? Because that's very, very important. So it's better to mention how to do it rather than surprising them how they're going to donate. And if you look at a lot of fundraising campaign videos from various crowdfunding platforms on Kickstarter or whatever, they usually mention it in their sales page or their landing page or in the video marketing material for people to see. They mention it all usually. So it's good that sense, because you're guiding them. Okay, that's the most important part. So I hope that helps answer your question, Muhammad Arif. All right, you're welcome, brother. Anytime, brother. So if there's nothing else, I can take one more question. I'll end the session at 9:15 because I'm not going for Tarawih. It's already too late. But yeah, so what's this? Bika? Who's Vijay? Vijay has a question? Or you asking Vijay has a question? Darren, okay, good. Adam, I assume Adam doesn't have a question, but he's excited to have an army of people starting to share his campaign. That's good, I hope. Okay, so Vijay doesn't have a question. That's good. Adam doesn't have a question. All good. Okay, if that's the case, what I'll do is I'm gonna share a link both to Adam and Bika on like a place where they can read a bit more, if they want to, on how to prepare themselves to engage in the fundraising campaign. So at least you have the notes that I've been sharing for tonight. It's easier that way, in that sense, of course. So I'll do that, and I will share here. Yeah, I think it's better if I share here. Okay, 1 second, sister. Here we go. All right, so you can go here, okay, for the nitty-gritty stuff on donation. Is it this one that I gave you? Oh, sorry, wrong one. This one. Yeah, over here. This one. All right, the second link. The first thing is more about how the funding works, but the second link is the one how to add more fuel to your market to market your fundraising campaign. So if there aren't any more other questions, I think I will pass back the mic to Daniel to end the session, even though he didn't say a single word yet. But Daniel, feel free to end the session. I'm gonna watch you end the session, actually, and and I'm glad there's a good bunch of people. I believe there's about almost 50 here. Okay, never mind. Daniel's mic and his webcam is not working, unfortunately. So I will end the session by, on behalf of everybody here, thank you so much for being here, for being attentive, I hope. And I hope you guys learned many new ways on how to run an effective fundraising campaign for campaigns that you really care about and for the causes that really matters to you. So thank you so much for having me at a very late night. I hope you guys have a good evening. Let's be in touch. Let us know how else we can help. And I wish you all the best to you guys, and Adam and Bika, all the best with your campaigns. Can't wait for them to thrive. So Taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Zaijian. Goodbye. Ma'asalama. See you guys. Cheers. I will be going now. Bye bye. Aldi.